In this video, we're going to make a Canada Day themed dress, red and white all the way. So if you're in Canada, Canada Day is next week, July 1st. Please go ahead and watch this video. Make yourself a dress to wear on Canada Day, whether you're going to be celebrating in public or, you know, if you're still under quarantine or in a lockdown and you're celebrating in your own neighborhood. This is something that you need to make and put it on to be proud of your country like I am. So let's go ahead and get started into this. If you're obviously making this and you're not a Canadian or you don't care for these colors, you can substitute the colors for any colors of your choice. So if you're my beautiful friends across the border in the US and you want to make this for July 4th holiday, you can obviously substitute these colors for your blue, red, and white. And if you're anywhere else in the world, you can go ahead and substitute this with your own country colors or just make it in your own nice beautiful colors that you like. Okay, all right, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and grab our materials and let's get this video started. Okay guys, so to get this project started, I'm going to start it off with a slip knot so we can start our foundation chain. And this is how I do my slip knot here. Okay, and now that I have my slip knot, I'm going to do a chain of 100. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay guys, so I did my chain of 100 here. Now I just measured, this is going to be, this measurement here is going to be the circumference of the largest part of your hips. All right, now that we have that, we're going to pretty much hold our chain very straight, and we're just going to move it around until we go back to the beginning of the chain. But make sure you're holding your chain so that it's straight, and then we're going to connect it here with a slip stitch. Okay, so I'm just going to go into this very first stitch here and do a slip stitch here. Okay, just like that. So now we have a big circle like that, and then I'm going to chain 2. Okay, and then I'm going to do a double crochet stitch from the next stitch here. I'm going to do a double crochet stitch. I'm going to move on to the next stitch and I'm going to do a double crochet. And I'm going to move on to the next stitch and do a double crochet, and we're going to do that until we get to the beginning here. So when you do your last double crochet here, then you're going to come back to the video and make sure you're holding your chain straight so that you're not twisting it. Make sure it's super straight. And when you have the first row completed and you're here, just come back to the video and I will go ahead and show you guys how to go and start the second row, and then I will have you guys repeat that for a number of rows before we do something a little bit different. Okay my loves, so this is the first row of the double crochet stitch here around the chain, and as you can see, I have one more stitch to do right here, and then we're going to connect these two pieces together, and then we're going to start row 2. So now that we're there, I'm going to do a slip stitch right on top of the chain 2 that we did. So it's the first stitch here. I'm just going to do a slip stitch there. Okay, so now we have connected it fully, and now it's a complete round. It's a little bit blurry here. Let me just fix the camera a little bit. Let me see. I hope this is better, but anyways, so that's pretty much the circle here, and now we're going to start our row 2. I'm going to chain 2, and right in this next stitch here, we're going to do a double crochet, move on to the next and do a double crochet, move on to the next and do a double crochet, and so on and so forth. So again, we're going to do the second row until we get to here. When we get to this spot right here, we are going to do our last double crochet in this stitch, chain 2, and then slip stitch on top here, chain 2, start the following row. Okay, now I'm going to do 2 rows of this red, but I'm going to show you guys how to change the color. Okay, so what you will do when you have the number of rows that you're doing is you will have your work like this. You're going to you're going to pull the yarn here like this, like you're going to do a slip stitch. Okay, you're going to bring your other color And by the way, I just want to give a shout out to Tammy, one of my subscribers, who reminded me to show how to change color, because I've done a few projects lately where I wasn't doing so, and she reminded me to try to show how to change colors. So this is why I'm making an effort. Thank you so much, Tammy, again. So anyway, so to change color, I'm just going to, and by the way, you guys, anything that you want me to change, to do better, to do differently, you just have to ask me, okay? Anyway, so when you're ready to change your color, you're going to do this, and then you're going to bring your second color in, just like that, okay? And then you're going to pull the red, and then you have that, you're going to chain 2 from here, okay? And then you're going to go ahead and do your double crochet stitch in the next stitch, just like that. So this is how you will be changing color, okay? Now I am not going to obviously change the color yet, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another row of the red, and then so when I come all around, then I'll change it to the white, and then I'm going to do 4 rows of the white, and then change it again to 2 rows of red, 4 rows of white, 2 rows of red, 4 rows of white, 2 rows of red, 4 rows of white, until I have the length that I'm looking for. So as you can see, for this top, it's just right above my knees is the length of the dress. So you do however many rows you require for this until you get to the do as many rows as you require until you get to the length that you're looking for the dress, okay? And when you have that, then come back, because we're going to start to do the waistline of the dress, and then eventually we're going to do the top of the dress, which is the 2 cups for 2 bra cups, okay? Okay, my loves, so I have gone ahead and completed the number of rows that I want for the dress. So as you can see, this is pretty much the bottom of the dress here. Okay, this is where we started off, the bottom here, and then I worked up all the way to here. Sorry, the white color is a little bit glary on the camera, but if I do it any darker, then it's just gonna look weird. But yeah, so anyway, so that's it here. So I've already gone ahead and cut off the excess yarn here. So I'm going to change my color back to the white, and I'm going to kind of snatch it in the waistline a little bit by changing the stitch to a half double crochet stitch for a couple of rows. So I'm going to just change the color here to the white one, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. And then when we have enough length for the waist, so this is pretty much right from the bottom of the waist until where your bra starts. This is what we're doing next, because we want to snatch it in a little bit so that it's a little bit tighter there and not the same looseness as the bottom of the dress, okay? All right, so I'm going to just change my color here like we would have changed the color regularly, so just like that, okay? And then I'm going to chain 1, because we're doing a half double crochet stitch. And then in the next stitch, I'm going to start my half double crochet stitch here. And again, I apologize, the white color is a little bit glary here, so it's hard to see. So hopefully you're following what I'm doing. And then in the next stitch, we're going to do another half double crochet stitch. And then, and so on and so forth. So you're going to just pretty much go along or around the dress and just do your half double crochet stitches. So we did double crochet stitches to create this, and then we're going to do half double crochet stitch because it's going to snatch it in the middle, okay? And again, you go ahead and continue to do this all around until you get back here. When you do your last one right here, you're going to slip stitch on top of this. So pretty much what we did for the rest of the top or the dress here. You're going to slip stitch here, chain 1, and then continue to do as many rows of that as you require to cover from the bottom of your torso to the top of pretty much where your bra side or bra cup starts, or right beneath your breast, okay? So I don't know how many there are for you. I don't know how many it's gonna be for me, but I'm going to pretty much make as many as I need to. I will try it on as I go. When I have the size that I'm looking for, I'm going to come back to the video, and then we're going to make the cups together, okay? All right, so go ahead and do that, and I'll see you guys when you have completed that portion of the dress. See you guys in a bit. Okay, my love, so I've gone ahead and completed 26 rows of the half double crochet stitch here. Okay, so with my 25 stitches, I'm going to do one more row of a single crochet, and then after that we're going to make our top part of the top of the dress. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to do the single crochet stitch in this next row. So I'm going to chain one, and in this next stitch here I'm just gonna go right in and start my single crochet stitch, go into the next one, do a single crochet stitch. And what I'm doing here is I'm just doing one row that is a little bit tighter than the previous row, and it's gonna snatch in the waistline here. Okay, so I'm going to do these all around. When I get back to this space here where we just started off, I'm going to come back on the video so we can finish this part, and we're gonna start our top part together. Okay, so see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so I've gone all around here. So this is where I started the last row here. So I'm just gonna do a slip stitch right here to finish this row off like this, and I'm gonna take my scissors and I'm gonna cut this yarn off here, and then I'm just gonna fasten these off here, and that's it, that's done here. Okay, so I'm just gonna show how my work looks like so far. Okay, so this is pretty much how it looks like. Let me just flip it like this. So this is where we started our project here, which will be the bottom of the dress. And as you can see, then we go all the way, and as we hit this all solid white here, we changed it to the half double crochet stitch. All this part here is a double crochet stitch with the alternation of the colors like that, and then we switched to do this solid white in half double crochet so that it kind of brings in the dress a little bit inwards like this. So as you can see, curves in a little bit, and then we did a final row here of the single crochet to bring it in even more, and that's how it looks like. Okay, so that is the bottom part of the dress done. So I'm going to show you guys how to do the bra cups, the two bra cups that will go up here like this. And then we're going to eventually do the straps to tie the bra cups together on top, and of course we're going to sew the bra cups to the front of the dress here. Okay, all right, so let me go ahead and put these away. I'm going to do the bra cups in red, and then I'm going to come back and show you guys how to start a bra cup. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so to start the bra portion of the top, I am going to start with a foundation chain, and by a foundation chain we're going to start with a slip knot first. Okay, so that's my slip knot. So do your slip knot however you do it, and then I'm going to chain 25. So 1 2 3 4 5. So that's my chain 25 here. Okay, I'm just gonna adjust the light here a little bit. Okay, and after I've done my chain 25, I'm going to turn my work this way. I'm going to skip the first chain here. In the second chain in the back, I'm going to do a half double crochet. Okay, so this whole top portion of the top is going to be done in half double crochet, which we have already done in the top, so you know how that works. So we're going to do a half double crochet in that stitch, and then we're going to move on to the next stitch and do a half double crochet in the back of the chain. Okay, and this is the back of the chain here, these bumpy areas of the chain. The front is super flat, there's bumps in the back that you work into. Okay, so you're going to do this all the way until you get to this beginning of the chain here, and when you do your final half double crochet in the final stitch or in the final chain, come back to the video and I will show you how to continue this first row on the other side, because we have to work on this other side as well. Okay, so see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so I have done my half double crochets all the way to the end of this chain here, and I should have 24 stitches all together. Okay, and then in this last stitch where we did one half double crochet, I'm going to do one more half double crochet into the same stitch. Okay, and then I'm going to chain one, and in the same stitch I'm going to do 2 more half double crochet stitches. Okay, so in this final stitch here we did 4 half double crochet stitches. We did 2 first, then we did a chain 1, and then we did 2 again. And now we're going to move on to the next stitch on this side, and we're going to go through both loops like that, and we're going to do our half double crochet there, and then on each and every single stitch going down on this side. And this is still part of row 1, so we're not done row 1 yet. We are working still on the first row of this top. Okay, so this is how it looks like so far. We're going to end up creating like a sharp corner here, which is going to be the top part of the bra cup, and then this side is going to be the flat side. So again, do your half double crochets on this side. Don't forget to go through both loops. Okay, and then when you get to the end here, come back and I'll show you guys how to start the second row, and then I'll have you guys do however many rows you need for your top, and then we'll come back to the video to attach this part to the dress for us to have a complete dress. Okay, all right, so I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so this is the end of row 1 here. Okay, so again, you should have 24 stitches on this side, and again 24 on this side, and then you have the 2 extra that you did on top here, so you should have 26 stitches on each of these sides. Okay, all right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with our row 2, and I'm going to chain 1, turn the work, and then just right in the stitch right after the chain 1, we're going to do our half double crochet. Okay, and then we're going to continue to do this in every single stitch until we get to the top. And when we get to the top, we're going to do what we did previously, which is 2 half double crochets in the top stitch, chain 1, 2 more half double crochets in the same stitch, and then we move on to doing the other side of the row 2. So again, go ahead and continue to do that. When you get to that section, I will show you how to do it, and then we'll move on to the other side, and I'll let you guys do the number of rows that you're looking for. Okay, so see you guys when you get to the top. Okay guys, so as you can see here, I just did my last half double crochet here. I'm going to do one more here because this is still a stitch, and I came back to show you guys that so you don't forget there's a stitch right there. Okay, and now that we're done that, we're going to go ahead and move to, we're going to do one more stitch here actually. So this is why I wanted to come and show you guys, because it can be confusing. So there's one more stitch here, and then now we're in this gap that we created from the previous row. Okay, so now we're going to go into that gap and do 2 half double crochets in the same gap, chain 1, and then 2 more half double crochets in the same gap. Okay, so this is the top where we have 4 half double crochets in the same stitch separated by chain 1 in between them, and then we just move on to the other side and continue to do our regular half double crochet, 1 in each stitch, all the way until we get to the bottom. And when we get to this bottom here, we do a chain 1 turn and we repeat again. Okay, so I'm going to do a total of 7 to 8 rows, and so you go ahead and create the number of rows that you require to cover your girls, and when you have that, come back. I will show you guys how to finish it off, and then we can go ahead and start our second one. And when we're done our second one, we'll go ahead and connect it to the part of the dress to make the complete dress, and then we'll do the straps to tie these on top of or behind our necks. Okay, all right, so I will see you guys when you get to the end of making your bra cup. Okay my loves, so I have gone ahead and completed 7 rows of my bra top here. So as you can see, that's how it looks like. It's super long, and this is for my size. Again, I'm making a small. Of course, if your size is bigger, you would make bigger than this. So with our foundation chain, we did 25. If you wanted it a little bit longer, you will increase the number of chains. And in terms of coverage, full coverage, I did 7 rows. If you wanted it a little bit wider, then you will do more rows than 7 rows. Okay, all right, so the other thing is I'm going to not leave this bottom like this. As you can see, it's not very straight, it's a little bit bumpy, and what I often do is I end up doing a row of either a single crochet or half double crochet in the bottom here, just to make it a little bit nice and neat. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do here. And to start it off, I'm going to do a chain 1, and in that same stitch where we did the previous half double crochet, I'm going to do another one, and then I'm going to do a single crochet stitch, or sorry, a half double crochet stitch in each of spaces, or if you want to call it stitches going to the other direction here. And you don't have very obvious stitches when you work in a place like this, so you just try to find gaps that look like stitches and you go into them without making them too close to each other and without making it too gappy either. Okay, so go ahead and do this. Just go across, and when you get to this end here, come back to the video and we'll go ahead and finish these off and move on to the next step of this dress. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so as you can see here, I just did a row of the half double crochet down here. It just makes the work a little bit nice and straight, and that's pretty much it here. So this is how our bra cups looks like, and what I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna leave the string a little bit longer to be able to sew my top on, and I'm gonna cut that there, and then I'm going to go ahead and fasten these off, and then we should be ready to go ahead and get started on the second one. Okay, so yeah, I would like you guys to go ahead and duplicate this top, this part of the top. Go ahead and make the second one exactly the same as this first one, and when you have both of them completed, come back and then we'll be able to go ahead and make our straps and be able to sew this to the bottom part of the dress, and we shall pretty much be done. Okay, so go ahead and do that. When you're done your second one, come back to the camera and we will move on to the next step of the top together. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Okay my loves, so I have completed both of the bra cups here. So as you can see, these are two identical bra cups, and if you put them together like this is usually how I can tell they're equal on all sides. So just place them together and I flip them on each side to make sure they line up perfectly, and when they do, then I know I did them exactly the same size. And usually if you try to do this and it looks like one is bigger than the other, then you either have too many rows on one or too less, so, or like one row less or something like that. But usually it's easy to tell. So like I said, I did 7 rows of each of this. Okay, all right, now we're going to do the straps for each. So I'm going to start with this one here. I'll show you guys how to do the strap for it. All right, so you just take one of your tops like this. There's the chain 1 spot that you had on top of the cup, and then you're just gonna bring in the yarn like this, and you're going to do a slip knot like that. Okay, now that you have your slip knot, you're going to do the number of chains that you think is enough to wrap around your neck. I'm going to do a chain of between 60 to 80. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start our chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I have my chain of 60 here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this yarn right somewhere here. Then I'm gonna fasten these off, and that's it here. And then for the bottom here, we're just going to make sure that we weave it in. So I'm gonna weave it in here and just kind of knot it at the end. So I'm going to do something like this and just bring it back in, and then have a knot here. Just like that, and then I'm going to do a knot. Then I'll cut these off here. Then we'll just tuck this guy in here, make it disappear. So that's done here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the side and do that for the second one as well. On this part here where you cut it off, you're just gonna fasten it back up as well, so that it's nice and steady and secure, so that it doesn't come off. And then when you have it like that, you'll cut the excess yarn off. Okay, so that's it here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the side and do the same for the second cup here. And then what I'm also gonna do for the skirt, so there is the skirt part of this here, I'm going to do a strap just in case it's a little bit loose, I can do a strap that I will be able to tie to the back here, so that I can kind of snatch it in if it needs be. Okay, so I will do a strap in this red color, probably for about 100 to 120 chains. And so when I come back, I will have that ready, and I'll also complete doing this. So go ahead and do that, and I'll see you guys when you get back. Okay guys, so I have both of my cups here done. So as you can see, I have my straps. I did 70 or 60 chains on each of these sides, and this is going to be super long, so this will tie the back of my neck. Okay, all right, so we're going to put this on the side. What I also did was I did a chain of about 120 chains. I'm going to use this kind of like a makeshift belt. So what I'm going to end up doing at the end is I'm going to put it in this second row here. I'm going to weave it in between, and that way if this section of the dress is a little bit loose, I can kind of snatch it in and pull it in using the belt. This is an optional part, so if you want to, you can do that, but if you don't, then your dress is just going to fall a little bit loose. Okay, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to sew this to the dress. So for this dress, it's going to be, you can pretty much wear it on either side in terms of whether this is inside or outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat this side as going to be the inside, which is why I'm going to sew my 2 cups on this side, and then when it's done, I'm gonna flip it over. But you don't have to. You can definitely have this side as outside as well. So that is an optional thing to you. And then of course you're going to line up the dress based on how you're going to wear it. So for me, the part that shows where the work was, it's pretty much like the line. I'm going to have this on the side. So I'm going to pretty much have this dress like this, and I'm going to take the 2 cups and I'm going to start sewing it in like this, and I'm going to sew the other one in like this. So they're going to pretty much be at the end here to the middle, and then from the end here to the middle is going to have a little bit of an open gap in there like this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start sewing these in, and of course go ahead and do the same thing on your end. So I'm going to take my darning needle and I'm going to pretty much attach these here, and then I'm going to line up my stitches just right from this very corner here, and I'm going to line it up with this here, pull it in, and then I am going to be pretty much sewing this all the way, lining up the stitches and going all the way across. And you can pretty much go ahead and do the same thing. And when I have this fully attached here, I'm going to move on to do it to this side as well. And when I have both of them attached, I'm going to come back to the camera and you will be able to see how it looks like when it's completed. In the meanwhile as well, I'm going to be putting in my make-believe belt into the second part of the skirt part here. Okay, so go ahead and do that. When it's all put together, come back to the video and we'll go ahead and look at how our work looks like. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovely, so the dress is done. As you can see here, I have pretty much attached the 2 cups here. They're super long, they look super nice and playful and sexy. And I've also made a belt for the dress so that if it's a little bit tight, I can pull that in. And if it fits fine, then I will just kind of tie this here into a bow and make this a nice beautiful kind of belt, but also very playful for this dress in the back like this. Okay, so this is the back, as you can see here. And then when we flip it this way, this is the front. So this is how your front would look like. Very nice. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I didn't have thin yarn to make this dress, so I used a medium weight yarn. But if you do have a thinner yarn, probably number 3 or number 2, it would be best to make something like this with it. But this was just nice to make for this tutorial. Yeah, so this is pretty much it here. So we have our straps here to be able to tie it behind our neck, and it goes all the way to the bottom. So this is the bottom of the dress here with the red as the final color. So I hope you guys had so much fun, because I did, making this dress. And this is again for Canada Day theme, red and white for my Canada colors. But if you are watching this video from somewhere else, you can substitute these colors for any colors of your choice. So it could either just be colors you like, or it could be colors of your country. That is absolutely up to you. Or you could just make it all in one solid color, so that's also acceptable. It's your dress, who cares? Nobody's gonna, you know, hate on your color. You chose it because you like it. So anyways, thank you so much, you guys, for watching this video to the end. And if you're at the end and you have not yet subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Make sure you like, comment, as well as share this video with all of your friends and loved ones. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Ciao, ciao.